Very well. I shall grant you another condition. You shall be wealthy during the day, but when night falls, poverty shall wrap its arms around you. When the sun rises, you shall be the wealthiest man in your land, your wealth overflowing. But when the sun sets, poverty shall embrace you. You shall wander, penniless and humbled.
Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe.
Once in a distant village nestled amidst lush hills and whispering rivers, there lived a man named Ikenna. Ikenna was a simple farmer, toiling under the sun, and his nights were spent dreaming of a life beyond mere survival. His heart yearned for wealth, for the glittering coins that could transform his existence. One fateful day, whispers reached Ikenna's ears, a tale of a powerful goddess who resided atop the highest mountain. She was known as Noche, the ancient mother, goddess of wealth, and it was said that she could grant unimaginable riches to those who dared seek her favor. Driven by desperation and hope, Ikenna embarked on a journey to find Noche, the goddess of wealth. He climbed the steep path to the sacred grove, crossed raging rivers. Finally, he stood before Noche's sacred shrine, a stone altar adorned with offerings from countless seekers who had come before him. Ikenna knelt before the stone altar, his palms pressed together. "Great ancient mother," he said, "grant me wealth beyond imagination. Let gold flow like rivers and silver adorn my every step."
Ikenna, I shall grant your wish, but heed my condition. You shall enjoy this wealth for 2 years only. After that, death shall claim you.
2 years of opulence, followed by oblivion? Was it worth it? Ikenna was afraid. He said, "Great ancient mother, but can wealth be truly enjoyed without life itself? Please, great one, grant me another condition. I am pleading." The goddess tilted her head, considering.
Very well. I shall grant you another condition. You shall be wealthy during the day, but when night falls, poverty shall wrap its arms around you. When the sun rises, you shall be the wealthiest man in your land, your wealth overflowing. But when the sun sets, poverty shall embrace you. You shall wander, penniless and humbled.
Ikenna's mind raced. Daytime opulence, nighttime destitution. It was madness. Yet, he saw no other path. "I accept," he declared, his voice trembling. Ikenna returned to his village, his pockets heavy with gold. He built a mansion and bought luxury cars. The villagers marveled at his fortune. But at sunset, Ikenna's heart clenched. His wealth vanished. His mansion disappeared. The grand horse turned to dust. The coins slipped through his fingers. He wandered the moonlight streets, humility etching lines on his face. Yet, in the daytime, he reveled, feasted on delicacies, and danced to the beat of traditional drums. The villagers whispered and murmured at his unstable wealth, his sudden wealth at daytime and poverty at night. By day, he was the man whose pockets overflowed with gold, whose mansion had no comparison in the village. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, his wealth vanished, leaving him penniless and humbled. The village maidens whispered among themselves, "Ikenna is cursed." They said, "His riches are a mirage. a trap set by the gods. Ikenna tried to marry from his village, but no maiden accepted to be his wife. They were all afraid of his unstable wealth. He decided to go outside his village to find a wife. One fateful morning, he set off beyond the village borders. He sought a companion. Fate led him to Ada, a woman of grace and beauty. They wed under the warm sun, and Ada rejoiced, believing she had married a wealthy man. As night descended, Ikenna's wealth began to vanish. The gold in his coffers turned to dust, and his mansion crumbled into dust. Ada, bewildered and fearful, questioned her husband why their riches vanished with the moonrise. But Ikenna had no explanation to give to his wife. Ada's fear grew as the shadows deepened. She clung to her husband, wondering how they would survive the darkness. As the sun rises the next morning, Ada said to her husband, "My heart cannot bear this. I seek stability, not fleeting wealth." She packed her belongings quietly and left. Ikenna cried and stood alone. He married another woman, but the same thing happened. He kept marrying different women. Same thing kept happening. None of them spent 2 days with him. He married more than 10 women, yet they all left him. He stood alone, cried, and went into a deep thought. He decided to go very far away from his community, but this time he promised to be honest to any lady he will approach. He journeyed beyond the familiar hills, across rivers and valleys, until he arrived at a village where no one knew his name. There he met a maiden called Ogade. Ikenna introduced himself, his voice tinged with vulnerability. "I am Ikenna," he said, "a man of contrast. By day I am wealthy beyond measure, but when night falls, poverty embraces me." Ogade tilted her head, studying him. "And what do you seek?" she asked. "A wife," Ikenna answered. "Someone who will love me despite my enigmatic fate." Ogade's laughter tinkled. "Perhaps I am foolish," she said, "but I accept your proposal." And so they married, a union of daylight and moonlight, of abundance and scarcity. Ikenna built a modest cottage for Ogade, and they planted garden together. By day they tended to their crops, their hands touching earth and hope. By night they shared stories, their breath mingling in the darkness. The villagers marveled at Ogade's courage. "She knows not what awaits her," they whispered. After few years, they were blessed with a male child, and Ikenna named their son after him. He named him Ikenna. After a few months of having their son, one fateful morning, Ogade was sitting outside their mansion with their son, while Ikenna was inside the mansion. He was visited by the ancient mother, the goddess of wealth. Ikenna was afraid because he wasn't expecting to see her again. She spoke.
"Ikenna, it is time. You have enjoyed your wealth for 8 years. It is time for you to meet with the Mother Earth. And when you are gone, your wealth will vanish forever. Your wife and your son will face the reality of life, because your wealth can never be inherited by anyone. I give you 10 minutes to prepare your soul for the inevitable. Your turn starts now."
She disappeared into the shadows. Ikenna was confused. He began to talk to himself.
"What is wealth without life? All these years I was busy marrying different women, and they keep leaving me because of my fleeting wealth. Now that I have found someone who accepted me despite my enigmatic fate, now that I'm enjoying my wealth, why? This is vanity upon vanity.
Ikenna was still talking to himself when Ogadi walked in and heard everything he said. "Who are you talking to?" she asked. Ikenna opened up to her and narrated his encounter with Noche, the ancient mother, goddess of wealth. Ogadi listened with tears in her eyes. She said, "No matter the condition, I still love you, my husband, for making my days rich and my nights priceless." Just as she was about to kiss him, Ikenna passed away, and his opulence, wealth, mansion, gold, everything vanished. Ogadi cried. The death of her husband left her speechless and heartbroken. After her husband's burial, she was left with nothing to take care of herself and her son. She left with her son to her father's house, where she started a trading business.